Hey guys, welcome back to Yoga with Jules. So today's practice is going to be about practicing openness. So the idea is that if we're opening up through the body, so through the physical practice of yoga, asana, we're doing these opening poses through the chest, through the hips, through kind of the whole body. We're cultivating an openness in our minds and in our hearts. So that's the idea, but this practice is really good regardless for just any time of the week when you want to get a little bit of a lengthier practice in. So I will see you there. So let's get moving. All right, welcome back. So for today's practice, we're going to start in just a nice, easy cross-legged position. So really rooting down through the pelvic floor, that root chakra. Lifting up through the chest, shoulders are down and away from the ears. Really just coming into the breath, coming into the body now. We're going to get started pretty quickly today, but just for right now, we want to really get in touch with the breath and start off with just a few rounds of Ujjayi breathing, which is like the breath where it sounds like the ocean. Awesome. So deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Sorry, you'll have to excuse me, I'm a little bit sick, so it might not sound as nice as it usually does. Awesome. And now from here, we're going to take a deep inhale and bring the shoulders right up to the ears. So making it really tense, tensing up the upper body. Now we're going to drop the shoulders. Nice deep exhale. One more like that. Inhale. Tensing up, really trying to bring the shoulders as close as you can to the ears. And exhale. So feeling the lightness in the upper body. Hands can be wherever they feel comfortable, in the lap, on the knees. Awesome. Now from here, sweeping the hands up and overhead. Nice big stretch through the side body, through the front and back of the body. Chest is open. Exhaling, bringing the right hand down to the mat. We're going to side bend over to the right side. Gaze can be wherever. I always end up looking at the ceiling, but it can be a little bit of strain in the neck in that position. So looking down at the mat, totally fine. Inhaling, coming back to center, reaching both hands up like you're climbing a ladder here, trying to get as much extension through the body, through the spine, and exhaling, opening up over to the left side, so side bend to the left side. And rotating upwards with the chest here, so we're not collapsing in the chest. And gaze, again, wherever it feels comfortable for you. Beautiful. Inhale, coming up, back to center. Reach through the fingertips, rooting down through the pelvic floor, through the sits bones. And now we're going to exhale here, slowly forward fold over the legs to get a nice stretch through the hips and through the back. Head comes down to gaze at the mat. And body might start talking to you right away here. Your knees might be like, I don't bend like that. So if that's the case, feel free to just come up to your cross-legged position. Just tuck the chin into the chest, just so you're still getting a nice stretch through the spine. Otherwise, we're down here, reaching through the fingertips. One more deep inhale. Feel the back expand. Exhale. And on your next inhale, just going to slowly walk it back up here. Cool. So we're going to come to tabletop position. So either rolling right over the knees or rolling out over one hip and coming over to tabletop here. So proper alignment in tabletop is hips are directly over the knees and shoulders are directly over the wrists. Fun trick I discovered if you're kind of struggling figuring out if you're in the right right position here. So just come to a kneeling position like this with the hips right over the knees. And if you just kind of let yourself fall forward, you're going to fall in a position where your wrists are right under your shoulders. Maybe don't quote me on that. That's not really scientifically proven other than me doing it in front of the mirror like 5 times, but it seems to work. Okay, from here, we're going to start doing some nice gentle cat-cow movements, and feel free to introduce any kind of movement you need here. If you're a little tight in the hips, might want to do a little bit of side-to-side movement, maybe some movement around the wrists. If you're at a computer typing all day, that's a really nice one. So inhaling, we're going to drop the belly, gaze up to the sky, really pulling the chest through the gate of the shoulders. Awesome. Exhale, pressing through the palms, rounding through the spine, and gazing at the belly button. Awesome. 2 more like this, and like I said, any kind of movement you feel that you need here. Inhaling, drop the belly, tailbone reaches up, gazes up at the ceiling or at the third eye. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Really nice. All right, 1 more here. Inhale for cow pose. Really get a nice stretch here. Open up through the chest and exhale, rounding down through the spine. Coming back to neutral spine here. Awesome. So keeping this alignment, we're just going to reach the right leg back, curling the toes under and really pressing into the ball of that foot. So you're getting a nice calf stretch here. This is like one of my favorite stretches. It feels so good. So really don't be afraid to push into that heel, shooting the heel back towards the edge of the mat. Good. And once you've gotten a nice stretch here, we're going to lift the right leg. So it's just an extension of the back body, parallel. You can take a peek here if you want, parallel with the rest of the body. And we're going to reach the opposite hand, right arm forward. Sorry, left arm forward. So we're balancing here, waking up all the muscles of the core, of the back, of the shoulders, of the booty. 1 more inhale here. Gazes down towards the mat. And exhale to release. Beautiful. We're going to do the same thing with the left leg. So reaching the left leg back. Really pressing in. Hang on, I'm going to move a little bit forward here. Really pressing in through the heel into the ball of that foot. Getting a nice calf stretch here. Right on. So lifting that left leg. Really still pressing through the heel as if you're kind of trying to push your foot into the wall behind you, if there is a wall behind you. And then reaching the right arm out. So 1 long line through the fingertips, from fingertips through the heel. And we're not collapsing on the side of the right arm or the left leg here, just trying to keep everything level with the mat. 1 more deep inhale. Reach, 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 and exhale to release. Beautiful. And we're going to curl the toes under and send the weight back over the heels here. Getting a nice stretch through the arch of the foot. Should feel pretty good, especially if you're on your feet a lot. Reaching the head towards the mat. Shaking the head, yes and no. All right, so we're going to head into our first downward facing dog. And fair warning, this is probably the most description you're ever going to get for a downward dog, but you will be a master of this pose after, I promise. So, starting from the hands, we're trying to press into all 10 fingers, but with a special emphasis on the L here of both hands. So that's why you might have heard before a yoga teacher saying internal rotation of the forearm. It's because we're pressing especially into that L of the palms here. So as you start to send weight into the feet, lifting the hips up, we're also having an external rotation of the upper arm. I know, it's confusing. but because we're trying to bring the shoulder blades down, wrapping around the sides of the body here. So really bringing space into the back. So that's why you might have also heard before internal rotation of the forearms and external rotation of the upper arms. Doesn't really sound like it makes a lot of sense, but I promise you'll kind of feel it here. So staying high up on the toes here at first. Don't want to force everything, especially if you're doing this in the morning. Might be a little tight. And last but not least here, we're kind of hugging the low ribs in. So I'm not trying to make this pose totally rigid where you're just like flexing through the abs the whole time. Just hugging the low ribs in. Awesome. So we'll stay here for 2 more breaths. And again, shaking the head out, yes and no. Really should feel good here. Get a little bit of movement going. Okay, inhaling. Going to look forward between the hands. And exhale to just slowly walk up to the top of the mat. Awesome. So we are in forward fold here. So keeping a nice soft bend in the knees. You know, throughout this practice, you might hear me say straight legs or bent legs or whatever, but I never really want you to be totally locked out in the knees. That's just not being nice to your knees. That's how you get injuries. So always a bit of a soft bend. So it's a balance between keeping some energy in the legs, so pulling up through the kneecaps, but also keeping a softness. One more breath here. You can grab for opposite elbows if that feels good for you. Ragdoll pose. Okay, and wherever you are, we're just going to slowly start to roll it up until we're standing. So stacking one vertebrae on top of the other as slow as you can go. And the head is the last thing to come up here. Awesome. So I will meet you here in mountain pose. So this is another pose. You've probably never heard this much description before, but you're about to get an earful. That's okay. So toes to touch, heels slightly apart, or you can just choose to have the feet hip width apart, whatever's more comfortable for you. But what we're doing in this pose is we're working from the feet, from the roots all the way up. So really spreading the toes and planting them down on the ground. So feeling your taking root here and drawing energy up through the legs. So again, a little bit of a soft bend in the knees, but we're pulling up through the kneecaps, up through the thighs. Good. And so tucking the tailbone down so we're not getting an arch in the spine. Arms reach down by the sides, palms shining forward. Open up through the chest. And the gaze is forward. So we're going to check back in this pose a couple more times during the practice. And just notice how it feels for you. It's another very simple pose, but very powerful pose. Hence the name mountain. Awesome. So from here, we're going to move into our first little flow of the day. So sweeping the arms up and over, reach up to the sky, and exhale to swan dive forward, forward fold. Keeping a bend in the knees. Inhale, we're going to come up for flat back, so hands can be on the shins, up here on the thighs, reaching back, whatever feels good for you. Just making sure that the back is super flat. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the head, step the right leg back, low lunge. So drop the right knee, uncurl the toes. And we're just going to get comfortable in this pose, so find the stance that's right for you. I personally find sometimes I have to walk that knee up a little bit and raise my stance because I don't have great flexibility in the hip flexors. Awesome. So from here, we're going to inhale and come up into our low lunge. And we're going to clasp the hands at the low back. Inhale to open up through the chest and reach the hands or the fists down towards the mat on the inside of that right leg. So this should feel awesome, opening up through the chest. One more deep inhale here. And exhale to release. Awesome. So we're going to scooch the right knee forward just a little bit. Walk left leg back behind you. And now listen carefully. We're going to plant the right palm down on the mat. Rotate the right knee open about 90 degrees. So I'm going to face the window here, but walking the left foot in line with the right knee. We're going to open up here for half gate pose. Awesome. So lifting up through the side body. And if you want to get a full stretch out of this pose, reaching the arm up and over so the tricep is by the ear. Beautiful. And again, gaze wherever it feels comfortable. If you'd rather be looking down at the mat or straight forward. Wherever you are, we'll take one more deep inhale, really feeling a stretch through the side body here. Exhale, release and come back down, slowly bringing that foot back in. And now we're going to step it straight back to plank. And here we are, everybody's favorite pose, right? We're going to stay here for 5 seconds, not 5 breaths, 5 seconds. So really drawing the navel in, bringing a lot of space at the upper back. So again, the shoulder blades are coming down the sides of the body. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to drop the knees and slowly lower down to the mat. Awesome. So from here, inhale, coming up to baby cobra. Not a lot of weight in the hands. Exhale, release. Awesome. Inhale, pressing back up to the knees. Curl the toes under, coming back to downward facing dog. Now we'll spare you the details this time. Just remembering to press into all 10 fingers. Awesome. Inhaling, look forward. We're just going to walk the legs back up to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Awesome. Inhale to come all the way back up. Reach up, stand up tall. And exhale, we're coming straight back down. Beautiful. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And now exhale, plant the palms. We're going to walk the left leg back this time. It's coming to low lunge. Awesome. Uncurl the toes. Find your comfort zone here. Might need to walk the right leg out. I know sometimes I need a little more room when my hips aren't feeling as flexible. And wherever you are, we're going to slowly lift up and come up to our low lunge. Inhaling, bringing the hands to clasp at the low back. We're going to open up through the chest and really lift up here. Good. One more inhale, reaching the hands down the thigh, the left thigh. Exhale, release. Awesome. So once again, we're going to scooch the left knee up just a little bit and send the right leg straight back. Plant the left palm. We're going to rotate the left leg out 90 degrees and open up once again for gate pose. Deep inhale here, really feeling that openness in the chest and the front body. If you want to get a full stretch out of it, reaching the right arm up and over. Beautiful. One more deep inhale. And exhale to release. Really nice. So coming back to plank. And this time, your choice, whether you want to slow lower all the way down to the mat or come to the knees first. It's really up to you. So exhaling, coming down to the mat. Inhaling, baby cobra. Not a lot of weight in the hands. I do this every time. I had a teacher once that was like, not a lot of weight in the hands, and now I just do this every time I'm in here. Exhale, release. Inhale, pressing back up to tabletop. Curl the toes under. We're going to walk it back to downward facing dog. Lovely. Just a couple deep breaths here. This is your rest pose, so use it. All right, now from here, just gazing between the hands, we're going to walk up to the front of the mat. Inhale for flat back. Exhale to release and forward fold. Soft bend in the knees. Inhale, coming all the way back up. And exhale, allowing the hands to come down by the sides for mountain pose. So checking in here again, drawing energy up through your root, through the feet, up through the legs, opening up through the chest. Just noticing how you feel right now in this moment. Just acknowledging it. And we continue. Inhale to bring the arms up and over. Exhale to release. Inhale, coming up flat back. Exhale, walk the right leg back, staying in high lunge this time. So walk the fingertips in line with the heel, loop the shoulders back. So we're drawing the shoulder blades in together here, and a soft bend in the back knee as well. All right, so we're really going to use that power in the legs now to power up here and come to a standing high crescent lunge. Inhaling and exhale to sink a little bit deeper. Awesome work. And from here, once again, clasping the hands at the low back and sending the fists down towards the mat to really open up through that chest. Inhale, chest lifts, and exhale, you sink. Wonderful. Inhale and exhale to release and bring the fingertips back down to the mat, walking back to plank. All right, here you go. You know what's coming. We're going to do a full side plank this time. Option to make it a supported side plank as well. So rolling to the outer edge of the right foot and inner edge of the left foot. We're in this staggered position here, opening up through the chest, through the side body, lifting up from the hips to really get that power in this pose. So legs are strong, core is engaged, arms are engaged, reaching through the fingertips. One more deep breath here. You got it. Lift the hips even higher. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Now yogi's choice here, either chaturanga to up dog or slow lower to the belly. Meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Awesome. So taking one deep breath here. This is our resting pose. Great. Looking up towards the hand, we step or jump to the top of the mat, and I meet you in flat back. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, coming up to standing, reach through the fingertips, and exhale, coming all the way back down, swan dive to the mat, forward fold. Inhale, coming up flat back. Exhale to release and walk the left leg back first this time. So coming to that high crescent lunge again, rolling open through the chest. Bring the shoulder blades down the back. Check your alignment, knee is directly over the ankle, and we power up. Lovely. And drawing the hands down to the low back. Maybe try the opposite grasp this time, the one that feels a little funky. And we open up through the chest. Try to keep the arm bones away from the bum and reach the fist down towards the mat. Awesome. If this pose is not accessible to you, you can also grab for opposite forearms, opposite elbows, or just reach the fingertips down towards the mat. Sorry, I should have mentioned that earlier. Inhaling, here we are. And exhale to release. Good work. Step it back to plank, and here we go again for our side plank. So rolling to the inner edge of the right foot, outer edge of the left foot, stacking up through the hips. Heel open here for side plank. And gazes wherever it's comfortable, so you can be looking down at the mat, straight forward, or up at the ceiling. One more deep breath. Lift up through the hips. And exhale to release. Good job. So once again, slow lower here, or chaturanga to up dog. And we meet in downward facing dog. Right on. Now this time we're just going to slowly walk back up to the top of the mat. Forward fold. And we'll hang out here for a second. So grabbing for opposite elbows if that feels comfortable for you. Ragdoll. Or just bringing tops of the hands to the mat. Wherever you are, just letting the head hang heavy. And inhale, soft bend in the knees, rolling it back up to standing. All right. And here we go for our last flow of the day. Inhale, bringing the arms up, sinking back into chair pose. So kind of finding that point where you're about to fall backwards, like you're falling into a chair, hence the name. But finding stability here, finding a lot of strength coming up through the thighs. Tailbone reaches down towards the mat. Reaching through the fingers. Option here to also have the hands in prayer, especially if you have any shoulder pain. Wherever we are. 3, 2, 1, and we fold over the thighs for forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale to release and step it back straight to downward facing dog. So we're all masters at this pose now, obviously. We're planting down through the left foot. We're going to reach the right leg all the way up to the sky for three-legged dog. So rotating the pinky toe down towards the mat. So we're getting an internal rotation of the thigh here. One more deep breath. Exhale, bring knee to nose, maybe give it a little kick, and walk it between the hands. Awesome, so we're coming up for a classic sun salutation B, dropping the heel for warrior one. So again, inhale to power up, exhale to sink a little bit deeper. Awesome work. And so warrior one does require a little bit of flexibility in the heel, in the ankle. And if you don't have that, then that's okay. We can just be here in crescent lunge. Otherwise, dropping the heel down for warrior one. Internal rotation of the pinkies, so we're forcing shoulder blades out alongside the body, bringing space into the back body. Inhale, one more deep breath here. Exhale to bring us through to warrior two. So keeping a soft bend in the back knee, opening up through the chest, reaching the shoulder blades down, gazes out over the right fingertips. Feeling so much power in this pose, especially if you're feeling a little bit of a burn in that front leg. Work with it, not against it. One more deep breath here. Inhale to reach it forward and back for exalted warrior, just for a beat. And exhale to release back down to the mat. Awesome work. So stepping back to plank. And we can move straight into downward dog, or your choice to go through a vinyasa here. And I'll meet you back in downward facing dog. All right, so here we are. We're gonna root down through the right foot, right leg. Inhale and lift the left leg up to the sky. Reaching through that heel, all the toes facing down towards the mat. One more deep breath in. Exhale, knee to nose. Or knee to lips. And walk the foot forward between the hands. Man, my knees are getting a lot of love today. All right, dropping that right heel down for warrior one. And finding that power through the legs again. Here we go, coming up for full warrior one. Opening up through the chest. So just as we were doing before when we were clasping the hands down to really exaggerate that opening of the chest, we're doing that here in warrior one. But just mindfully doing so by opening, lifting through the chest, bringing shoulder blades down to meet. Awesome. One more deep breath here. Exhale to transition through to warrior two. Cool, so here we are. Keeping a little bit of a bend once again in that back knee. I swear I did this pose wrong for like 10 years. I was always keeping such a straight back leg and feeling so much pain in my hip and in my knee. Not good. So remember, I can't say this enough, always keep the knees soft. All right, inhaling here to reach the left fingertips forward and back for exalted warrior. Option here to take a bind on top of that left thigh. Exhale, coming all the way back down to the mat. Stepping left leg back to plank. And from here, we're just gonna drop the knees and come straight back into child's pose. Nice little break here. So either reaching the hands forward or down alongside the body. Ooh, I like that better. That's nice. Okay, so wherever you like, staying there for 3 breaths. Feeling the back expand as we inhale. One more deep breath here. Really nice. So reaching the arms back forward again. Coming up into our tabletop position, we're just gonna dip the hips down to the left and come straight onto the back here. Okay. And because I care about you, we're just gonna go straight for 50 bicycle crunches. So bringing the shins up parallel to the ground, drawing the navel in so the lower back is flush with the mat. We're going to clasp the fingertips behind the neck, and the thumbs are reaching down the sides of the neck. And all I'll say about this pose is we really want to make sure that we're reaching with the elbow, so the elbow is coming to meet the knee, and the knee is not coming back to meet the elbow. And I'm going to count the first 20 with you, and then after that, I don't think I'll be able to. So I will cue you in for the last 10, and take a break if you need to, but at least try to complete the last 10 with me. So here we go. Just like that. Reaching right elbow to left knee. Deep breath out. Inhale, coming back to center. Left elbow to right knee. Back to center. And 3, 4. Picking up the pace now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, it's all you now. 30. Okay, last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bonus 3, 2, and 1. Release. Awesome work. You probably hate me right now. It's for your own good, I promise. Okay, walking the heels up towards the bum. We're going to go for a nice front body stretch here. So peeling from the low back up off the mat, walking the shoulders underneath and getting a nice Buddha belly stretch here. So breathing the biggest breath you possibly can straight into the belly. And we'll do that one more time. And release. Great work. Okay, bringing the knees directly into the chest for a nice big hug. And we're going to release the left leg, pulling the right knee into the right armpit, towards the right armpit. I don't think you're actually going to get it in your armpit. Great. Maybe giving the ankle a few rotations here. Giving everything a little bit of love. And leaving the left hand on the right knee, we're going to reach the right peace fingers to the big toe, or just grabbing the outer edge of that right foot. We're going to press the foot right up towards the ceiling for half happy baby. So getting a nice stretch through the hip flexor here, and a stretch through the back of the thigh on this side, on the right side. One more deep breath here. Awesome work. And now walking the left foot back onto the mat, we're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. Get a nice figure four stretch here. So flexing through the right foot to protect your knee. You can either stay right here if you feel that that's enough of a stretch, or maybe coming onto the tippy toes. If you're tight in the hips, that's totally fine. That might be all you need right now. Otherwise, going for a clasp around the back of the thigh and pulling that knee into the chest. 2 more breaths here. 1 more deep breath. See if you can get a little deeper. And release. Wonderful. So letting the right leg go this time, we're going to pull the left knee into the chest or towards the left armpit. Give that ankle a little bit of a rotation. Awesome, and coming into half happy baby again, so holding the right knee or the left knee with the right hand and reaching for the outer edge or the big toe. Pressing the foot up into the ceiling and opening up through that left hip for half happy baby. Wonderful. 1 more deep breath here. And now bringing the right knee back up, so walking the right foot up to the mat. We're going to cross left knee over, left ankle over right knee. So if you're sensitive in the knees, this also might be a good chance for you to just cool it and stay here. I don't want to be overextending anything. Otherwise, clasping behind the right thigh and pulling knee towards the chest. You can also use your elbow to force that left knee out a little bit, especially if you're not super flexible in the hips. You need a little encouragement. I know I do. All right, 1 more breath here. And release. So we're coming into our final resting pose now. Letting all the limbs hang heavy, keeping a nice amount of space between the arms and the side body. Now this is your pose, so do what makes you happy, but I find it feels nice to walk the shoulders just a little bit more underneath the body and remaining really open here. And feel free to pause the video at this point and stay here for as long as you can or want to. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.